Hello, welcome. This is part 2 of our color along out of Gnome Sweet Gnome by Teresa Goodridge. Sorry about the glare. So I did one of the freebies you can get out of her Facebook group in case anyone wanted to join in and didn't quite have their book yet. And I thought for tonight, for this one, we would talk about the water. So again, just a quick recap of last time we went over, we did this grass and we did our trees and we added a yellow and orange up there just to kind of bring things together with a nice springy fresh feel. So when I tackle these busy pages, I like to get the bigger sections out of the way first because it gives me an idea of what colors are going to pop out. You know, have a better of an idea of what colors will go with these flowers and things once I have my blue in. So on the subject of water, here's where you decide if you want blue water or blue light blue water or turquoise green water. So I did this one quickly. I didn't do a completed pages for March, so you may have not have seen this one, but I did this one out of R.J. Hampson's new book, A Frog's Tale. And this is kind of like the turquoisey water I'm talking about, and I did a little bit of sunlight running through there. I am not going to do sunlight on this one just because we have trees and so much stuff I feel like would block the reflection, and so if I tried to put like a sunshine reflection in there, I think it would just look weird. But I am going to do a blue water, but I'm going to have some turquoise around this green here, just so it looks like that's reflecting in the water a little bit. So I pulled just some basic blues, some darks, mediums. Here's my mediums, my lights, a little bit of green, which I might also do a little turquoise, and then my white to blend it and give it that nice water feel. So Copenhagen blue, denim blue, Indian throne blue, permanent blue. This one is 919, which I'm not sure which that one is. It's not true blue, but the next one. This is cloud blue or sky blue, whichever you prefer. Parrot green, cobalt turquoise, and white. Now I may not use them all. I'm going to start with my Indian throne, and I kind of just judge from there what I want. So my Indian throne blue is my darkest, and it's going to go along the edge. Also, I am recording this off a new phone, so if you have any troubles hearing, seeing, goes blurry, I turned on my Do Not Disturb, but this is a way newer phone than the one I had, so if anything is still beeping or anything like that, please let me know. I will get that fixed. Just a little bit of a learning curve here. I decided to go ahead and use it for recording because it doesn't actually work for phone calls. And I already spent all the money on it, so I might as well use it for something. So hopefully at least it will be good for that. So I am pulling my shadow out a little ways, following the lines that Teresa has already put in. I'm going to avoid her fishing pole best I can. Yeah, fishing pole. I had to stop and look for a second when I seen the little sprout coming off it. I was like, maybe that's not a pole. Yes. Okay, I'm also going to come in darker around this boat. And I'm not really doing any like precision. I'm just kind of scribbling it on and pulling it out. Following the lines she's already put in a little. Mainly I do that just to hide the black lines, so when I put my lighter colors in, the black lines don't show. It just looks like we did that. So right here where the fish is jumping out, I'm going to darken. Okay, there's another hole right here, so I'm going to darken that a little in the center, and I am going to go around these rocks as well. Also, I do not know if this phone is like my other one and shuts off at the 30-minute mark when I'm recording, so if it does happen to shut off, I'm going to watch it carefully. But if it does happen to shut off, we'll know for next time. I will try to keep an eye on that so it doesn't cut off and lose anything. Okay. So around these plants here is going to be a little tricky. So I'm gonna just kind of start, and I'm not really gonna color out, I'm just gonna outline them a little so that I know what's plant and what's water. Because sometimes when these get real close together, I've been known to color one blue once in a while. Which again, you can add a little turquoise and hide it and nobody will ever know. But so just lightly going around those. And then we'll play with those a little more once we start bringing in our other colors. So my next color is going to be Copenhagen. And I'm not going to work on blending these together. So I am going to go over the top, oh, don't color her shoe, over the top of the first color and out a little. But I'm not going to worry about burnishing or blending out all the white. Because right now we're just making shadows in the water. That dark blue is all going to turn into shadows. And I really like this dark blue with my bright green. It gives it a nice feel. Okay, and I'm gonna leave the bushes for a moment, around the bushes anyway. So I'm just gonna make sure everywhere I have that dark blue, I touched it with my Copenhagen blue so it has a color to blend into and I'm not color hopping from dark to light anywhere. It's a little tricky. I should have put my brown in, but these little white spots are dirt where they're the edge of the cliff. So those are going to be brown, not blue. Okay. I'm going to add a touch of this turquoise. Now I don't want to do turquoise out here in the middle of my water because again, the turquoise is to give it a little bit illusion of this green reflecting in the water. So if I do it out in the middle where there is none of these plants and things, then it kind of ruins that illusion. I'm just trying to trick the brain into thinking it sees a little bit of green in the water. Okay, and I'm going to do the same with this green. And again, this will come out lighter when we go over it with the white, so we don't have to worry about how well you can see it right this moment with the dark blue. The only thing you want to make sure is whatever color you use for the green in the water, you don't use on your stems or you are going to have a blending. They'll blend together and you won't be able to tell what's what. Okay, this is permanent blue. So I am going to not color my little fish here. Now my plan is to make these fish orange. I know real life we don't catch goldfish with fishing poles, but I really want to bring this orange from my trees down. So the best way I can kind of do that is to incorporate these fish. I don't really want orange flowers because I feel like those are going to be yellow to go with this red maybe. So I am going to have goldfish, but I am aware we don't usually catch goldfish with fishing poles. I guess I shouldn't say that. In Wyoming I haven't seen us, but there may be some big scary fish in the ocean or Florida that are orange, that aren't goldfish. Clownfish maybe. I don't do ocean, so I don't know a lot about fish. Okay, one more blue. Bringing in all the blues here. We want a nice blue difference going on. I'm working around those water drops. I'm going to do them in white gel pen anyway, so a little blue isn't going to hurt them, but working around them. Same with these water droplets coming out of the water. So this is just kind of a blender color. It goes over everything. It's starts bringing our water to life here. I'm going to sharpen. I have this little sharpener, which I use for my super short ones because it works even better than my Teo tree. There is no brand, and I have no idea where I got it. And for some reason, it is like the best sharpener I have. I steal lots of things out of like my daughter's little art sets she gets. So I don't know if I borrowed this out of one of her art sets from Walmart. What? But I really wish I knew so I could order another one. I do that all the time, just like the Crayola pastels. Watercolors. I didn't buy those. I stole them off the front of her coloring book one year. They're like the best pastel watercolors I have, and you can only buy them if you buy like a whole set of all kinds of other colors from Crayola. I should look for Easter though, because I do believe it was an Easter book I got them off of. Maybe kids' coloring books are expensive. I never realized, like my mom bought me coloring books all the time and I never realized how expensive they were, but for the price of some of these kid ones on the weird tannish paper, you can get some decent ones for them off Amazon for about the same price. Okay, and then here's where we come in with our cloud blue or sky blue light, depending on what you want to use. And again, this just goes over the light areas. You don't have to work it all the way. As you can see, I got a little area right here that's going to need some more dark blue because my black lines are showing through and I don't like it. But I'm going to go ahead and get this on the rest of the way first. And see what else I don't like first. I'm probably also going to do their fishing line in white just so it pops out from my dark colors. Sorry, we're sliding everywhere here. Working with short pencils, and I have still 1 foot in the air, which is working for the foot, but it's like making me tilt it a little here at my desk. I'm not sitting completely straight with it. So we're working at an angle here. Again, probably come back and fix these black lines there that I don't love. Alright, there's where our water is going to be turning a little green. And if you can hear that crunching noise, I apologize. We had a huge snowstorm and got 26 inches, 19 in some places, depending on where you are over here, but now it's frozen, so all the cars driving by are crunching. Okay, and then we're going to take our time and we're going to work this white. We're going to get out any streaks we don't like. And we're going to put in the ones we do. So I'm going to pull that Indian throne again. And then that Copenhagen, which is the next darkest color. We're just going to hide those lines there a little better. And that's more personal preference than anything. They don't bug you, roll with it. So while I have these blues out, if you haven't figured me out yet, I coordinate. So while I have these blues out here in the water, I'm going to also put them up here in the sky. So you can decide how dark you want to go, but we don't necessarily want a nighttime scene on this one. I'm going to have to get around my fish a little better here. And then from these, I'm going to work from the bottom up. I'm not going to make you watch me blend this whole water. I just kind of wanted to get a little bit of the green in so you could see. And I can make sure there was no spots I don't like. I'm going to use this lighter blue. A couple areas where my dark and my light are a little streaky, I'm going to fix them up here, this color. And it'll also look a little better when we get our green stems in here. Okay. I don't love around this fish still, so I'm adding a little darker blue here. Okay, so that's going to be the water. That's what I'm going to work the whole way through here. So I'm going over the dark, blending it with my light, circular motions. So I am going to take this permanent blue and I'm going to sharpen it a little, and I'm going to take this blue, my next lightest blue, and make sure I'm on camera here. Sorry, I got to get used to this new setup. I'm like way off. I'm used to being over more because that's where my other one sat. So my darker blue toward the bottom where all these trees and things are, and I skipped a whole section of grass. So I will come back and fill that in. We want to be careful, there's a tree there that we don't color that blue. We don't want to just scribble over everything if we can help it. It keeps sounding like someone's here, but it's just everybody driving by on that noisy ice. We are down to like 2 degrees for a couple days, then we jump back up to 40 and we'll melt. The weather is so weird here. Alright. Again, work around those trees. Don't want to lose detail. So working around that little plant there. So I'm not necessarily making a straight line all the way across for the sky, but what I don't want is dark blue all the way up here and like a, whoa, throw the pencil, like a diagonal line. It can be wavy, I just don't want it to look like I completely off-centered it. So I'm just keeping an eye on that as I go across. It's always fixable. We could bring that up a little more, come up into our trees. And I skipped a tree there, so I will fix that as well. Boy, I wasn't with it, was I? I was already kind of tired and over it last night by the time I got, or last video, by the time I got everything set up and figured out. These blues are almost the same color. That's okay. So I'm going over the first blue with the second one. And I skipped a section there. And if you need to, you can always darken with another pencil down lower. Working around all those branches there. That's the hardest part. It's working around all the details. And I am going to add just a touch of the Copenhagen blue, just because my sky looks a little boring with those blues being so close together. Not a crazy amount. I don't want it to look like it's nighttime down here and sunshine up here, but just enough to draw a little interest to the sky. Okay, I feel better about that. We don't want it to look exactly like the water, but so with this light, I am going to come up just a little in the trees, not a whole lot, because I'm going to add one more color. Bring in those cloud blues and sky blue lights, whichever you used. I'm trying hard not to touch my yellow and green and drag it into my sky. But it happens sometimes. I have to work on moving this setup that way a little so I quit sliding off the screen. I apologize for that. I'm still working on it here. Maybe I should have started with the book flip before I did a full-on color. Alright, so I'm still going to have to blend on this water some more. Again, of course, I just didn't want to make you have to sit and watch, because it's kind of tedious and not all that exciting. And it takes a few layers. I still might come back and work on these dark spots just a little so they blend in just a little better. They look a little harsh to me. I feel like that's helping some. I'll have to look on camera a little bit and see if I'm actually getting the effect I want, but I feel like that's a little better than where I was, dark-wise. And I got this whole section I skipped right here. Oh, and I got my fish. So I will clean up everything I kind of... Again, I'm going to kind of do those in white anyway, so not a huge deal, but the less wax I have to work over with a gel pen is better. So there is our page so far. Questions, comments, anything like that, please let me know. I will link the freebie down below if you are interested in joining in. I leave the videos up and put them in an album with the title of it, so they're easy to find. I hope to see you for part 3. Thanks for watching.